Foolish mortal, you have inadvertently tuned into the forbidden frequency. It's Zombie Astronaut's Frequency of Fear.
Welcome, fellow astronauts, to the Frequency of Fear. I'm your host, the Zombie Astronaut. I've just climbed out of a canvas bag to find myself on the deck of a pirate ship, so that can only mean one thing. I've been shanghaied by our pirate pal, Captain Bonemarrow.
Ahoy there, Mr. Astronaut.
Captain Bonemarrow, how have you been?
Oh, I've recently gotten a case of scurvy and a spot of skin-eating disease. And my wooden spleen implant has salty woodworms, so it burns like the dickens. But otherwise, I'm at the top of my game.
Good to hear.
Now it's to business, Mr. Zombie. We're planning on sailing to the Bermuda Triangle and stealing shiploads of cursed traveler's checks and video game tokens worth literally dozens of dollars from a haunted cave.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
However, I can't treat you any differently than any of the other members of the crew, so I have to give you a back-breaking task.
I think I'm up to it.
I'll give you a choice. Roll the ship, swab the deck.
Swabbing the deck sounds good.
I think you misunderstood me. The first choice is to roll the ship and swab the deck.
Oh.
The second choice is a thorough beheading.
Oh.
Well, truthfully, we don't have any oars, so by rowing the ship, I mean you have to get out, put the ship in neutral, and you'll push it.
I see. I have to get out of the ship and push it.
That's right.
While I'm in the ship, swabbing the deck.
You're a smart one, aren't ya?
Is that actually possible?
Of course.
Really?
No, it isn't. Now, if you don't do as I say, you'll walk the plank and be fed to the Kraken.
Oh, so there really is such thing as a Kraken.
No, actually, there's no such thing as the Kraken. You see, pirates tend to lie a little. For example, I might say I won't hurt ya. Then I do this. Ow! You really can't trust me.
You know, it just so happens that before you had me shanghaied, I was planning on broadcasting a few horror tales of the sea.
Ooh, that sounds delightful. Well, get on with it, you scurvy devil.
Here's an episode of Beyond Midnight. This tale is of a desperate man's search for his missing fiancée aboard a boat called the Happy Return. Only he finds the boat deserted. However, it seems someone returns to the craft to update the calendar. But who? Listen now to Beyond Midnight, The Happy Return.
That's her. That's her, sir. Little islet, and we'll open up the cove in a bit. Mind you, sir, I don't say the ship is still there. And if she is, you'll bear in mind as I told you all along, as there weren't no one in her when we went aboard.
Far away to the north showed dimly the grim, weather-beaten peak of the island of Tristan, the largest of the Dacunia group, while on the horizon to the westward we could make out indistinctly Inaccessible Island. Both of these, however, held little interest for us. It was on Middle Islet, off the coast of Nightingale Island, that our attention was fixed. We were looking for a boat, a long-lost boat called the Happy Return. My friend Trenhern's fiancée had sailed for Tasmania on the Happy Return, but the craft had never reached Van Diemen's Land. It had been lost in the vastness of the ocean. Only Trenhern would never believe that the beautiful girl he had sworn to make his wife would never again smile at him and sing to him. He searched and searched, and I accompanied him on a voyage over the edge of the world into the abyss that lies beyond midnight.
Beyond Midnight by Michael McCabe.
It was really a last effort. Trenhan had sent advertisements to all the largest papers in the world, and this measure had brought a certain degree of success in the shape of Williams, the old whaler whose yacht we sailed on. This man, attracted by the reward offered, had volunteered information regarding a dismasted hulk bearing the name of the Happy Return on her bows and stern.
None of us wanted to have much truck with her. She hadn't a comfortable feeling about her. And she were too clean and tidy for my liking.
How do you mean, too clean and tidy?
Well, so she were. She sort of gave you the feeling as a crowd had only just left her and might be back any bloomin' minute. You'll say what I mean, sir, when you get aboard of her.
Quick, Williams, is that the place?
That's it, sir.
But where's the ship? I see no sign of her. Where is she?
It's all right, sir. We ain't far enough up southward yet to open out the cove. It's narrow at the mouth, and she were right away up inside. You'll see in a minute. Excuse me, sir. Fabian, bring her round. Bring her round, man. What you got them eyes for? Bring her round.
I feel all of a shake.
Oh, there, old chap. Hang on. Better order one of the boats to get ready for load.
What if there's nothing? I've built up such hopes. What if
you get ready to go ashore? You'll soon know. God's given you a chance. No man can ask for more than that.
A chance that she's alive. It must be the Happy Return.
Well, that's that, all right. William said so, but...
Yes? But what?
Get ready. Get the boat lowered. We drew abreast of the narrow opening. It ran a considerable length into the islet, and then at last something came into sight, way up among the shadows within the cove. It was the stern of a vessel.
You see her? You see her there?
I see her.
You ready, gentlemen?
Of the yacht and the old whaler steering, we pulled into a small circular sea enclosed by gaunt cliffs. Trenhan's face was white. He was terribly afraid of finding nothing. And then we were under the hull of the Happy Return. The boat was made fast to the cleat, and we clambered up upon the deck of the ghost ship.
See how bloomin' clean and tidy she is. It ain't natural. Everything as if she was just going into port. And her a bloomin' wreck.
see her, do you? Everything. Ropes, everything. Neat, clean, as if...
Her masts have gone. So the boats.
But the rest. This means there were some of them alive, at least when she drove in here. They must be.
Down below.
Inshore.
I'll come with you. It feels strange. Lonely. Too quiet here.
Let's go down. Down below, please.
I ain't going down there by myself.
We're coming down as well.
We'll each of us go down. It's as if, I mean, everything's exactly...
Nothing disturbed. Nothing out of place.
They must be here. They must be.
confusion. What happened? Where are they? She's lain here, dismasted for 5 months.
See here, sir.
Huh?
That there might be the young lady's cabin, eh?
Nothing.
There's female things hung up there.
Nothing.
And there's sort of fixings up in the table.
How dare you? Desecrate. That's her, Brush. It's her.
All right, Trenham. It's all right.
I wasn't going to steal the blooming thing. I was only looking. Tried to help. Well, no offense, mister. I wasn't doing nothing bad, sir. Was never going to steal the blooming thing.
I know, but Mr. Trenham, he's...
Look.
What?
Everything's here. It's hers. This is where she... Where what? Where is she?
There's nobody here. They've gone. Overland or...
Look at this. See? Calendar.
Calendar?
Calendar. Read the date. Read the date.
But... April the 27th, 1882. That's today's date. It's a mistake.
It's not. It's been set this very day. Oh, please, dear God, grant I find her. What was the date at which it was set? Quick.
Date?
Yes, when you came aboard here before.
I never even seen the blooming thing before. I didn't stay no time aboard of her.
Come on. They're here somewhere. They're hiding. Come on, search!
And we did search. We went through the whole ship from stern to bow. There was nowhere any sign of life.
It aren't far off dark, sir. And we'd have to be getting out of this place while there's a bit of daylight.
And I persuaded Trenham that we had to leave, that we would return. And reluctantly he agreed. And minutes later we were in the boat and heading out for the open sea.
Still nothing. No one on the Happy Return. We'll land as early as possible on Middle Islet. And if we find nothing there, then I want to make a thorough exploration of Nightingale Island. And what's the other?
Williams called it the Islet of Stoltenkopf.
Stoltenkopf. Then that is what we'll do.
And if we still find nothing? No one on any of the islands?
What do you mean?
Well, I say, if there's no sign of any of them from the Happy Return...
Then we shall have to abandon the search.
We began just after dawn the next day. Trenham, I believe, really expected to find the crew of the abandoned ship returned to her. He clung desperately to the idea that they'd all gone on a food-gathering expedition, and the early morning would find them well and happy, his sweetheart among them. There was no one on the hulk that had once been a proud and beautiful sailing ship. Vanished. Face of the earth. Let's see it.
Henshaw! Look! See. Read it. Read the date.
When Trenham had shown me the calendar the preceding day, it had read April the 27th. Now, it had been altered to the 28th.
What's it mean, Henshaw? What's it mean?
Sure you didn't alter it yesterday by accident?
Perfectly sure. What are they playing about at? What are they trying to do? What's it mean?
Heaven knows.
You mean someone's been in here since yesterday? And it were dark bloomin' near afore we left here. Then if something's been here, then there's only one thing it can be, sir.
That's enough, Williams.
Only one thing, and that's plain. And that thing's ghosts.
Hold your tongue, Williams.
Where are you going?
On deck, sir. I didn't sign on for this here trip to have no truck with spirits.
Now, listen. They're not living aboard here, that's obvious. They've left for some reason. They're living somewhere else, in a cave or something.
What about the calendar, then? You think that...
Yes, I have an idea. They come aboard here at night.
Why?
I don't know. Perhaps there's something that keeps them away during the daylight. Perhaps animals. Something they'll be seen when it's light. I don't know. I'm only...
Animals aboard ship? There's something that could get at them on this ship, surrounded by sea, at the bottom of this pit thing, with all those cliffs. Well, then they'd never be safe anywhere. Surely they'd stay here, down here during the day.
Henshaw, I'm only trying to
There
find
aren't any animals, nothing dangerous on those islands.
What's the matter with that blasted door? The calendar, though. How?
Well, there's nothing here. I can't understand any of it. We'd better start our search of the island.
Yes.
We rowed to the middle islet and began to look for something, anything, a sign of life, of survival. Williams and I took a couple of men apiece, and we went right round the island until we met. We examined caves, everything. We found no one. Desolation. When we arrived back at the point of departure, several hours later, there was no sign of Trenherne. We waited. He didn't come. I went out in search of him. I found him lying on his stomach with his head over the edge of the chasm, staring down at the hulk. Trenherne?
Bend down. I want you to look at something. Look. See what I mean?
No. What?
There. In the water on the starboard side with a happy return.
Looking in the direction indicated, I now made out in the water, close alongside the wreck, several pale, oval-shaped objects. Fish? What, queer ones?
No. Faces.
What?
Faces.
My dear Trenherne, you're letting this matter affect you.
Don't try to...
No,
look,
you have my deepest sympathy, but...
They're moving. They're watching us.
I have it. Now, look, if I'm right, it may account for them leaving the ship. I wonder we never thought of it before.
What?
Well, now, in the first place, those are not faces, as you know very well. They're the tentacles of some sort of giant squid or something, a kraken or a devilfish or something. I can quite imagine things like that haunting that place down there. And I can imagine, too, that your Sarah and the crew of the Happy Return would give the place a pretty wide berth. Now, this might mean that they're alive, Am I right? I mean, things in the water down there around the ship, Trenherne.
But the calendar. Let's go back to the wreck.
We returned to the wreck. Williams and his men came too. We spent the day there, waiting to see if anyone came. No one did. The night came, and the old whaler prepared to take himself and his men off the Happy Return. Trenherne wouldn't hear of leaving. Someone, he said, was going to come and change the calendar. He told me I was at liberty to return to the yacht with Williams. Of course, I had to stay. The man left and came back in a little while with bedding for us. Trenherne gave them orders to come for us at daybreak. They then left us alone there for the night. The prospect didn't please me. The place was strange and cold and eerie, echoey, as if we and the wreck lay at the bottom of a great jug.
There's a mist coming down. Feel it? But even if we are attacked, we have the weapons. I'd be pleased to meet the The giant squid that could outwit a shell gun. Go below. I'll take the first watch.
All right.
Hello. I couldn't watch up there. It's cold, unpleasant. I'll stay here with you. You sleep. I'll stay awake and wake you when 4 hours have passed.
Very well. I wish the morning would come. I hate to say this, but...
I know. I think I've lost her forever. I know. But I tried for so long. I want to thank you for helping me.
Oh, no man could do more than you.
I know. I know. She was so beautiful. You met her, didn't you?
I met Sarah once, before she sailed for Tasmania.
I never imagined that day would be our last, ever. Oh, that cursed door!
I slept for a long time. Dawn could not have been far away when I woke. Oh, yes, I heard it. I heard her. She was calling. Train, train, train. And then the door that had so annoyed Trenherne, and which, unaccountably, for there was no wind below decks, had begun to swing again, stopped. And I saw her. I saw a most beautiful face, a shadowy body, and the most wonderful eyes I've ever seen in my life. I had seen her before, as she was boarding a ship called the Happy Return, bound for Van Diemen's Land. And then Trenherne awoke.
Sarah.
And I saw her arms go about him, and they turned and passed through the doorway and climbed the companionway. And there was nothing I could do to stop them. And I knew that I ought to have stopped them. I should have prevented him from leaving, because she was not of this world. I must have slept again. When I woke, it was truly light. I went on deck. Trenherne was nowhere to be seen. Trenherne! 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 voice was flung back at me from the high, gloomy cliffs. I ran to the port side and glanced over. Nothing. I flew to the starboard side. My eyes caught something that floated apparently just below the surface of the water. I was looking at a score of pale, unearthly faces that stared back at me with sad, sad eyes. They appeared to sway and quiver in the water. I must have stood for a long time. And then I heard the sound of oars.
Inbound there! Here we are, sir!
And just then, before hailing Williams, I turned and looked along the deck. And what I saw near drove me mad.
No! What's up, sir? What? Never heart, sir. You'll have us over.
Push off! Push off quickly!
Mr. Trennan, sir.
He's dead! Push her off! Take her out, Williams! Take her out! And they steered for the passage into the open sea. This took us close past the stern of the wreck. And as we passed beneath, I looked up at the overhanging mass. As I did so, a dim, beauteous face came over the taffrail and looked at me with great, sorrowful eyes. She stretched out her arms to me, and I screamed aloud, for her hands were like unto the talons of a wild beast.
Beyond Midnight is presented every Friday night at 9:30. The program is adapted for broadcasting and produced by Michael McCabe.
Our next tale is of a slightly larger boat than the Happy Return, called the Sea Phantom. When a crew member stumbles upon a skeleton scrawling a message on a chalkboard in Captain Strong's cabin, they find it a clue to the whereabouts of a missing boat, rumored to be filled with treasure. When they find the missing boat, they also find more than treasure. This episode also features the worst accent ever attempted by an actor. Listen now to Dark Fantasy, The Sea Phantom.
Dark Fantasy.
Skipper of the Sea Phantom.
I say, sir, and what be you doing in the captain's cabin? Do you hear me, sir? What be you doing sitting there writing on the captain's slate? Oh, ignoring me, eh? Now look here, you. This is Captain Strong's own cabin, and no one's got any business of sitting here writing. I say, you're not a member of this crew. Going down. Your face. Look at you. Why, you're not human. Captain Strong! Captain! Captain Strong! I say, Captain Strong! Captain Strong, sir!
Yes, Isaac. What is it, man? What's all the rumpus?
Begging your pardon, sir, but there's someone in your cabin, sir.
Well, who is it? What's that, Isaac?
There's someone in the captain's cabin, sir.
Who is it?
I don't rightly know, sir.
Well, didn't you see who it was?
Yes, Mr. Wilson, that I did, sir.
But the captain always locks his cabin. Don't you, Captain Strong?
I do, but I could have forgot.
It wasn't locked just now, Captain.
You say you got a look at the man?
Aye, sir. And full in the face, Captain. If you can rightly call it a face.
What's that? What do you mean, Isaac?
Yes, man. Speak up. What are you trying to tell us?
I mean, sir, the man ain't human. He's nothing but a skeleton.
What?
Nonsense, Isaac.
Oh, no, sir, and that is not. I seen him, sir. Looked plumb into his face, I did. And there's nothing there but bones. White, bleached bones, sir.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
With empty eye sockets and a gaping mouth, and he was writing on your slate, sir.
Writing on my slate?
Aye, Captain. Writing with a piece of white chalk held between his fingers. Fingers with no flesh on them, sir.
Well, you've been dreaming, Isaac. Come on. Let's get down to my cabin and have a look. Come along, Mr. Wilson.
Right, Captain. Isaac, come on.
Aye, sir.
Oh, it's impossible for anyone to be in my cabin. All hands are either on deck or down in the engine room.
That's what I say, Captain Strong. He ain't one of the crew. He ain't rightly nobody, sir. Unless you want to call a spirit somebody.
Isaac, stop that sort of talk.
No, but it ain't no sort of talk, sir. Begging your pardon, Mr. Wilson. I seen him with my own eyes. Sitting there, dressed in some sort of get-up I ain't never laid eyes on before. He had his back to the door, and he was writing on your slate with a chalk, Captain. I spoke to him, but he didn't pay me no mind. Just kept right on with his writing. Then I got closer to him, and he still didn't look up. So I stooped down and peered into his face, I did. And then I seen he wasn't nothing but a skeleton, sir.
Well, if you were a drinking man, Isaac, I'd have you flogged and put in irons.
I'm not so sure he hasn't been at the keg, Captain.
Begging your pardon, sir. You'll see for yourself soon enough. Here's the hatch.
You first, Captain.
Just as I thought. Nobody here.
Ah, cabin's empty.
But I locked this door, Captain. So whoever it was couldn't get out.
Well, you must have done that all right. I certainly unlocked it just now. You can see for yourself, Isaac, there's no one in here.
No, nobody. And no way out except through that door.
I say, Captain, have a look.
Yes, Mr. Wilson, what is it?
Your slate. There is writing on it.
Huh? What's that? Well, here, let me see.
Here.
There, Captain Strong. You see, sir? That's not your writing, is it?
No. No, it isn't my writing.
Then one of the men must have been in here and wrote that.
No, I don't think so. Because this writing is a style and a type that was used more than 200 years ago.
What? Now, let's see. I say. That is strange writing. It's English, all right. Such a peculiar spelling and phrasing.
Blimey, I can't read it at all.
Isaac.
Aye, Captain.
Now, seeing this, I can't help but believe that you saw somebody sitting here in my cabin writing on my slate. But I won't be convinced that it was a skeleton.
But I tell you, sir,
It was your imagination, Isaac.
Oh, no, sir, it wasn't no imagination.
I said it was your imagination. You understand?
Aye, sir.
Now, I don't want you to open your mouth about this to the crew. You hear me? There's some explanation. I'm not going to have you stirring up the crew with this. They're all superstitious enough without that.
Aye, sir.
Those are orders, Isaac. I'll have you in irons if you breathe a word of this to the men.
Aye, sir.
That's all, Isaac.
Aye, sir.
Well, Captain Strong?
What do you make of it, Wilson?
Most extraordinary. I'm positive Isaac did see someone in this cabin.
But surely not a fleshless creature.
I don't know. Isaac is a sober, steady sort of person.
But confounded man.
He hasn't much imagination.
Well, who ever heard of a skeleton aboard a ship, much less one that could write on a slate?
Stranger things than that have happened at sea. You know that. Yeah,
that I do.
But I can't convince myself that what Isaac saw was really some fleshless creature without a brain or heart or eyes.
Can you make out the writing on the slate?
Yeah, I think so. Says, it is not correct. The information you have about the sea phantom. Change your course 6 degrees northeast to location 26 degrees 7 minutes longitude, 18 degrees 9 minutes latitude. Jonathan Strange.
Jonathan Strange?
No, it can't be.
He was the famous captain of the Spanish galleon, the Sea Phantom. The one we're hoping to locate.
Yeah, he was. Jonathan Strange. Dead for 224 years. Lost in a gale in 1718.
Yes. But not in the position this message on the slate directs us to.
No, indeed. The Sea Phantom was supposed to have foundered at 20 degrees longitude. The message says 26 degrees and 7 minutes.
Yes.
Could this be a trick?
A trick, Captain?
Someone else who's heard of the immense treasure that went down with the Sea Phantom. Someone who's trying to steer us off our course. Get to the treasure themselves.
I doubt that.
What do you say you doubt it, Mr. Wilson?
Well, sir, we've kept the entire expedition completely secret. Not even the crew know what we're up to.
We've tried to keep the entire expedition a secret. I'm positive I haven't mentioned to anyone.
Nor have I, Captain Strong. When I stumbled upon the information about the Sea Phantom, I knew there was an excellent opportunity to recover almost $1 million worth of gold. And naturally, I needed a boat. You were the first one I thought of.
Neither of us would have had a reason for disclosing our knowledge about the treasure.
That's just it. That's why I'm so inclined to believe Isaac was telling us the truth.
About the thing without flesh, right in this message?
Precisely.
That's unbelievable.
Even so, Captain, you must admit that a man who's been dead more than 200 years certainly wouldn't be much more than a skeleton. Isn't that right?
You mean... good heavens. You mean this message was actually written by Jonathan Strange himself?
I mean exactly that.
I wonder.
What about it, Captain? Do we change the course?
I don't know. What's your advice?
Normally, I'm not superstitious. But, well, what can we do? I've never believed in ghosts or spirits up to now. But that message on that slate certainly is convincing.
Then you're in favor of following the instructions. Well, Mr. Wilson?
Yes. Let's change the course and go to the spot the message mentions. If you're willing to take a chance, I certainly am. Who's that? Yes, who's there?
Mr. Isaac Newton, sir.
Well, come in and stop that noise. Now, what in thunder's gotten into you, waking me up in the middle of the night? What time is it anyway?
8 bells, sir. Midnight.
Midnight? A big day ahead tomorrow. Oh, confounded man, what do you want?
Well, I'm standing watch alone tonight, sir. Maybe I should have told this to the captain, but I come to you first.
Well?
I just sighted a boat to the port side, sir.
Well, have you identified her?
Oh, no, sir. You see, she ain't carrying no lights, sir.
No lights?
Oh, no, sir. And she's not like any ship I've ever seen, sir.
To the port side, you say?
Aye, sir. She's riding with full sail.
What?
Aye, sir. She looks to me like one of those old-time boats you see in pictures.
Hand me my boots there, Isaac. I'll come up on deck and have a look.
There she blows, sir. You see? Not a sign of life aboard her, sir. And the moon's full tonight.
Look, man, look.
What, Mr. Wilson?
That name on the bow.
I can't see that far, sir. My eyes are...
That name. The Sea Phantom.
Sea Phantom, sir?
Yes. No wonder she's carrying no lights. No wonder there's no one aboard.
What do you mean, sir?
Isaac, if you've never seen a ghost ship, take a look at that boat out there.
Ghost ship?
Yes. The Sea Phantom went down in these waters more than 200 years ago.
Blow me down, sir. Are you having a joke with me, Mr. Wilson?
No. No, this is no joke. That's a ghost ship, right enough. You watch. She'll be gone in a minute or two.
I'm begging your pardon, sir. But that boat's real.
Ghost ships always look real, Isaac.
But look you, sir. She's close enough to see. She's within throwing distance, I do believe. Here. This belaying pin here, Mr. Wilson. I'll try to throw it aboard the Sea Phantom.
Good. You watch. That pin will just go through thin air.
We'll see, sir. Well, here goes. There, sir. You hear that? She is real.
But that boat's so old, she should have fallen apart years ago. And besides that, she's supposed to be at the bottom of the Atlantic.
She looks old enough, all right, sir. But I don't understand what you mean about her supposed to be...
Isaac.
Aye, sir.
Lower a boat.
A boat, sir?
Yes, confounded a boat. Lower one at once.
Are we going aboard the Sea Phantom, Mr. Wilson?
I am, yes. Now lower a boat to the port side and double quick about it. Stop rowing now, Isaac. Ease up alongside.
Aye, sir.
Tie up to that rope hanging there.
Right, sir. There. All set, sir.
Right. Well, you stay here and watch, Isaac, while I go aboard. If I'm not back in a half hour, come aboard looking for me.
Aye, aye, sir. Half an hour, sir. If you're not back by then, sir, I'll come aboard after you.
Keep a sharp lookout, Isaac. Let me know if you see anybody aboard.
Aye, aye, sir.
So quiet aboard. Can't even hear the wind. No sign of life. No sign of life having been here for score upon score of years. Rotting timbers. Sea-soaked deck. Twisted, tangled ropes. Empty kegs with rusted hoops and warped staves. Strips of time-worn sails and canvas swaying on the masts. Everything's so quiet. Quiet as though in reverence for the dead. Here. The hatch. Captain's quarters must be down here. Yes. This must have been his hangout. Let's have a look. A light burning in here. Hey, say, what's that? Oh. Bones. An entire human skeleton slumped here in the corner of the cabin, as though a man had propped himself up there and died.
Exactly, my friend.
Who's that? Did someone speak?
Certainly me.
But where are you?
Over here.
But I don't see you. There's no one in this room but myself.
Yourself and that gentleman slumped there in the corner.
Who are you?
My name is Jonathan Strange.
Jonathan Strange? Why, you're the skipper of the Sea Phantom.
That I am. Jonathan Strange, captain of the Sea Phantom. sailing with a cargo of gold for the Spanish ruler.
But, why, your boat went down in a gale 200 years ago.
So history says, yes. But men do not know everything.
I don't understand.
The Sea Phantom was no victim of a storm at sea. Oh, no, my friend. She was the victim of a cruel and vicious man.
I still don't understand.
Look here. You see the rusted iron ring there on the floor by your feet?
Yes.
Take hold of it and pull. The trap door to my cabin. That's it. It may be difficult. Use your strength on it. A little more force now. Now, that's it. That's fine. There. You see?
Gold. Bar upon bar of solid gold.
Yes, gold for the King of Spain.
And chests of coins and jewels.
One nail for the Queen. But Jose would have them for his own. He intends to mutiny the crew and steal the treasures that have been entrusted to us.
Who's this Jose?
Jose Menel, a wicked and cold-hearted fiend. Even now, the crew is waiting for me to leave this cabin. They know they'll never enter here while life is in my body.
But surely there's some escape.
No, none. They think I remain here to starve to death. They're fools. They do not know that they're about to perish, like the rats they are.
What do you mean?
Don't you smell the smoke? Listen. You can hear the flames.
Yes. Yes, I do.
They cannot escape in the boats, because I foresaw this mutiny and put the lifeboats out of commission.
But can't you escape?
No, of course not. For you to escape, you must make haste, my friend.
How?
The same way you entered here, of course. Hurry now, my friend, and take this with you.
What is it? What are you giving me?
You'll see. Hurry now. There's no time to waste. Soon the ship will be one mass of roaring flames, and none of us will be left alive.
Can't I take you with me? Can't you make yourself apparent so I can see you and take you along?
No, it doesn't matter. But let me warn you. With my life, I protected the treasures of the King and Queen. Throughout all eternity, I'll guard those treasures. It will not be wise for any man to attempt to obtain them for his own.
Yes, Jonathan Strange. I believe I understand exactly what you mean. That's why you brought me here. To show me.
Exactly. I must hurry.
Mr. Wilson, sir. Are you in there, Mr. Wilson?
Isaac, is that you?
Aye, sir. Blowing down, Mr. Wilson. This beastly boat's of fire. If we don't get over here in a jiffy, we'll be paying a visit to Davy Jones' locker before we do it, sir.
So, Captain Strong, that's exactly what happened. And I repeat, it was no nightmare. Isaac here can vouch for that.
It's the very truth, Captain Strong. Word for word. So help me heaven.
And that was fair warning. And whoever attempts to get the treasures of the Sea Phantom is doomed.
Aye, sir. Just as those mutineers were doomed 200 years ago, sir.
It's odd. Very odd.
I'm amazed you or the others of the crew weren't awakened by the sound of the fire.
No. None of us heard a sound. The men don't even know about it now. I wouldn't have known about it myself if you two hadn't told me your story. If I hadn't seen those bits of charred wood floating on the surface this morning.
It was a huge treasure, Captain. I saw it in its hiding place, beneath the skipper's cabin.
And you got none of it?
Not a single bit. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. Just before I left the boat, this thing was handed to me.
Handed to you? But I thought you said there was nothing in that cabin but a pile of bones.
Yes, that is right. But this seemed to come, well, almost out of nowhere. And it was placed very firmly in my hand.
He sure enough had it in his hands when I broke into the cabin, sir.
Let's have a look. Why, this was the ship's log.
The log?
Yes. The complete log of the Sea Phantom's voyage. From the date of sailing, right on up through the mutiny. Look. This writing. It's the same hand. The writing on my slate and the writing on this paper are the very same. Curve for curve, angle for angle.
Here, let me see. Oh, I say, Captain.
Yes, Mr. Wilson.
Look here. On this last page. It reads, "Now that it has become my solemn duty to protect the treasures which have been entrusted to me, I will send the Sea Phantom to her ocean grave together with the treasure. This is my course as I see it. God assist me. Jonathan Strange, May 29th, 1718.
You have heard The Sea Phantom. Tonight's tale of dark fantasy by Scott Bishop. Ben Morris was heard tonight as Mr. Wilson. Fred Wayne played Captain Strong. Muir Height was Isaac, and Garland Moss was Captain Jonathan Strange, skipper of the Sea Phantom.
Greetings, this is Taliesin, TTLG from Taliesin Meets the Vampires Invading the Frequency of Fear, to give you a rundown of my personal top 3 Gothic vampire films. If asked, most would cite Italian cinema as the home of Gothic horror. However, at number 3 we have an American film, Lemora, a child's tale of the supernatural. The film, directed by Richard Blackburn, is set in the deep south of America in the 1920s and owes much to the works of H.P. Lovecraft, for feel at least, as well as a liberal dose of fairy tale. The film tracks angelic Lila Lee, played by Cheryl Smith, as she is drawn into a world populated by deformed woods people and ice-cold vampires led by Lemora, who is portrayed by Leslie Gibb. In many respects, the film is a simile for sexual awakening, and perhaps because of this, or more likely, due to a misinterpretation of this, the film ended up on the Catholic Church's banned list. An astounding film, well worth your time. At number 2, we do look at an Italian film with Antonio Margheriti's Castle of Blood, starring the wonderful Barbara Steele. The film follows Alan Foster, played by Georges Rivera, as he spends the night in the haunted castle, having taken the challenge from Edgar Allan Poe and a friend. The ghosts of the castle reappear once a year, taking the blood of the living to last another year and recruit them into their ranks. Very much, as I'm sure you can tell, a cross between the ghost and vampire genres, this is a rich tale, dripping with melancholy atmosphere. At number 1, we have the awesome Mario Bava and his seminal movie, Black Sunday. Very loosely based on Gogol's Vi, this again stars Barbara Steele as both the Princess Katia and the resurrected ancestor and vampire witch, Aza. The film drips with atmosphere and, given when it was made, manages to raise a gore-related shudder. The film is said to be being remade and, as intrigued as I am, I doubt that any modern make of the film will touch the original for sheer atmosphere. To get more information on these and many more vampire movies and books, visit Taliesin Meets the Vampires at taliesinTTLG.blogspot.com. Alternatively, find the link in the links of the Zombie Astronaut.
Come on, guys. I really didn't mean to forget your 2-liter. Look, if I don't have to walk the plank, I'll give you a coupon for a buy one, get one free special. Ah!
Free pizza, boys! Well, everything seems to be in order. What is that?
Oh, my sweet potatoes. It's the Kraken.
The Kraken? I thought you said there wasn't any such thing.
I lied. Ow!
I need some time to think of a plan. And while I'm thinking of a plan, you can listen to another seafaring tale of horror.
Fire the cannons.
Our third and final salty scare is an episode of The Strange Dr. Weird, entitled The Ghost Ship. When a badly battered lifeboat carrying 4 men happens upon a mysterious ship, they think they've been saved, but they never imagine what they've been saved for. Listen now to The Strange Dr. Weird, The Ghost Ship.
The Strange Dr. Weird.
Good evening. Come in, won't you? Why, what's the matter? Your hand is shaking. Surely you're not afraid of me. Perhaps it would steady you to hear a little story that was just told to me. The story of a strange ship that sails the 7 seas with no crew save death, and no passengers except the dead. I call the story The Ghost Ship. My story, The Ghost Ship, begins in a badly battered lifeboat, pitching and tossing on the surface of the South Atlantic. 3 men wearily bail out the water which the breaking waves constantly pour into the boat. A 4th man, burly and broad-shouldered, is at the tiller.
All right, bailer, men, bailer. The water's gaining on us.
What's the use of bailing? We'll never make land. Why don't we admit we're done for and get it over with?
Stow that, bosun. We may sight a ship any minute.
You've been saying that every day for a week now.
Captain! Yeah, what is it, Cook?
I think it's a ship. You know it's here, there to port.
All right, look sharp, man.
I don't see anything. Just another false alarm.
No, it's not. Captain, I see her. It's a small steamer heading this way. Yeah, I can make her out now. She's heading straight for us.
It's a ship, all right. But she looks mighty funny. Look how low she is in the water. See the way she steers.
She does kind of stagger back and forth. Maybe her steering gear broke.
And there's no smoke from her funnels either. If you ask me, she's a derelict.
Well, maybe she is. Even a derelict is better than this lifeboat. The wind's carrying her across our cords. And we're going to board her.
Half an hour later, the lifeboat rubbed against the side of the strange ship. The 4 hungry, weary men clambered aboard her and found themselves greeted only by the uncanny silence of a deserted ship.
See? What'd I tell you? This is a derelict, a bloomin' derelict.
Yeah, she's a derelict, all right. Look at her ironwork, covered with rust. I'd say she's been drifting about for a good many months.
Suppose there be no grub or water aboard her, that's what worries me.
Now, that's what we're going to find out right now. Cook and I'll search the starboard side of the ship. You other 2 search the port side. Look lively now. We'll meet in the chart room in 30 minutes. All right, bosun, what did you find?
We didn't find nothing. Not a single solitary thing.
That's all right, Captain. Of course, we're so low in the water that all the holes in the cabins below deck are half flooded. But we searched everything else, and we didn't find a thing. Well, Cook and I had better luck. We found the galley dry and plenty of canned grub in it. I left Cook rustling up some chow. He'll be bringing us a hot meal any minute now.
Hot food, doggone. That's what I was wanting to hear. What I want to know is why was this freighter abandoned? Yes, it's... What? This is the Mermaid Girl.
What?
Yes. There's her name on the logbook. She's a ghost ship. Do you hear me? We come aboard a ghost ship. We got to get off her or we'll die.
Bosun, get hold of yourself, will you?
It's true. This is the Mermaid Girl, and every seaman in the world knows about her.
Well, sir, I don't. Captain, what is this here Mermaid Girl business? Well, the story of the Mermaid Girl is a curious one. 2 years ago, she had her hull stove in a hurricane, but she's loaded with lumber and cork, which is why she never sunk. Well, the first night out after the storm, one of the crew disappeared.
The next night, 2 more men went, and 2 more the night after.
I'm telling this, bosun.
It's true, every word of it.
It's true the men disappeared. Rest of the crew mutinied and abandoned ship. Only one lifeboat with 5 men in it ever made port. They're the ones who spread the story.
And ever since then, the mermaid girl's been drifting. A ghost ship with death at the helm. I tell you, we've got to get off her, or we'll die too.
That's the cook. Quick, outside. Something's happened to him.
Captain, look. There on the deck, a tray. Dishes and food. Cook was bringing us grub. And now he's vanished.
Say, Doctor, do you know you've been on the air for 25 weeks now? Evidently, people like your radio show.
That makes me very happy. And I thank them from the bottom of my cold-blooded heart.
Coming from you, Doctor, that's really warm sentiment. And while we're about it, the makers of Atom hats would like to thank the many men who have recognized the superiority of Atom hats this season. Gentlemen, you've been keeping our thousands of stores and authorized dealers mighty busy. And no wonder. Wide varieties in 100% correct styles, combined with finest quality materials and craftsmanship, make Atom hats America's outstanding hat value. The well-dressed man particularly appreciates the wide choice of shapes and shades available at their Atom Hat store. Tomorrow, step into the Atom Hat store nearest you and ask to see the new line of Atom hats, priced sensibly from $3.45 to $10. Now, Dr. Weird, on with the show.
And now to continue my story, The Ghost Ship. It is night, and in the inky darkness, half submerged, the derelict steamship Mermaid Girl drifts onward across the wave-tossed surface of the South Atlantic. Huddled in the chart room with 2 flickering lanterns for light, the 3 shipwreck survivors discuss the strange disappearance of the cook, the 4th member of their group.
I tell you, the spook got him. Or the devil, or whatever it is that's put a curse on this ship.
It takes more than a spook to make a grown man vanish without a trace, bosun.
The sea's different from the land. There's devils that haunt the ocean no landlubber can know about. You've heard of the Flying Dutchman, haven't you, Tex?
Reckon I have. What about it?
For 100 years or more, manned by phantoms, she's been sailing the 7 seas, full rigged and always running with the storm dead astern. The devils of the sea put a curse on her, and so the Flying Dutchman will sail on forever.
The Flying Dutchman is just a sailor's superstition, bosun. You know it.
And I suppose this ship we're on now is just a superstition, too. And the fact that she's been drifting for 2 years with no end at her helm, I tell you, we got to get off her, or else we'll die.
We can't get off her. Our lifeboat swamped when we came aboard. So stow that kind of talk, bosun.
That's what I say, too. I don't believe in spooks or devils. Fact is, I got me a notion to go down to the galley right now and rustle up some grub.
You want the same thing that happened to the cook to happen to you?
Oh, nothing happened to me. Captain, you got an extra revolver in your pocket?
Yeah.
Well, now, just you let me take it and I'll face anything to get me some grub. Well, it's 3 days since we had food, and I'm too hungry to wait for morning.
All right, here's the extra gun. It has 3 shells in it. And take this lantern, but look sharp.
I'll do that, Captain, and I'll bring back whatever I can carry.
Good.
And if I meet any spooks, I'll bring them back, too.
You shouldn't have let him go, Captain.
He'll be all right with a light and a gun. We do need food.
You'll see, Captain, this ship's a ghost ship, and... Listen.
Come on, we gotta go to his...
No, Captain, it's too late. It's got him, whatever it is that's haunting this ship. And if we got out there now, it'll get us, too.
All night, the 2 men huddled in the chart room, the doors bolted, the memory of Tex's screams ringing in their ears. In the morning, with a fog covering the sea, they cautiously emerged and searched the ship, the captain keeping his revolver always ready. And they found...
Nothing. That's what we found, Captain. Nothing but a smashed lantern and the empty gun line on the deck where Tex has dropped them.
Well, frankly, I think Tex and the cook went out of their heads and jumped overboard. There's absolutely nothing on this ship that could have harmed them.
But there is. Only it's something you can't see unless it wants you to see it.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Bosun, listen to me. I tell you...
Wait.
What is it?
Listen.
What is it, John? It's a foghorn. There's a steamship someplace in the fog, off the starboard of us. Head in this way.
But you'll never see us. Look how fast the fog's thickening.
Yeah, we gotta work fast. There's a hand-operated foghorn up in the bow of this vessel. Get up forward and start sounding it. I'll hunt for distress rockets. We've got to attract attention before that ship gets too far away.
Aye, sir. I'll signal it SOS with the arms.
Good man. Oh, she's passing astern of us. Blast this fog. If it hadn't thickened up so fast, we'd have been sighted.
Captain!
Yeah, what is it, Bosun?
Captain, he's got me! He's dragging me toward the old! Captain, help!
I'm coming, Bosun! Bosun, where are you?
Captain! Down here! In the hole! Help me!
In the hole? Bosun, what's happened?
Captain, it's an octopus!
What?
A giant octopus! It's got me down here in the hole! A tentacle caught me! You know, pull me in!
An octopus? So that's it! That's the devil that's been haunting this ship! I can see it, Bosun! Just under the water! I'm going to try and shoot it!
Hurry!
All right, devil, take that! And that! And that!
It's pulling me up here! It's going
my gun's empty! I've got a tentacle. A giant tentacles around my legs. I can't get loose. It's pulling me down into the hole, too. If I can only... I can't. Help!
No wonder the shipwrecked sailors who boarded the Mermaid Girl could find nothing. The devil who haunted her was an underwater devil whose presence they couldn't guess. And so the Mermaid Girl still drifts on across the seven seas, with death in the shape of a giant octopus, her captain, and dead men, her only crew. Perhaps someday... Oh, you have to go now. I do hope you'll drop in again soon. Just look for the house on the other side of the cemetery. The house of Dr. Weir.
Where's me arm? What did you do with my cursed abandoned ship?
Fire the guns! He's taken a licking, and he's still ticking.
I have an idea. Hand me one of those video game tokens.
Why?
Just do it!
Here's your cursed token.
Leave this to me.
Round 1. Fight.
Come over here.
Finish him.
Really super.
Great job, me hearty. You certainly have the salt of the sea in you.
Well, fellow astronauts, I think that wraps up another podcast. I'll hear you soon over the frequency of fear.
I'm salty. I'm salty.
This has been the Zombie Astronaut's Frequency of Fear. For more horror, sci-fi, and suspense audio, see the website at www.zombieastronaut.net. Right now!
The Metagalactic Pizza Guy was played by Todd Young. The pirate crew was Brent Hinks and W. Ralph Walters. All other voices by W. Ralph Walters.